All right. Welcome everyone to a new monthly webinar from the BD School. This month we're going to talk about 10 tactics to grow revenue with client referrals. We try to make it very, very practical, so stick with us until the end. And for those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Lucia. I'm the founder of the BD School. I created this company in 2018 after working in business development for 9 years. And the reason why I did it is that I myself was struggling with BD. I wasn't really getting the same results that I was having. And I started looking around for anything that could help me, right? So it could be articles, videos, anything. But I couldn't really find any source of really good knowledge about BD. So after talking to a lot of business developers, I decided that if there wasn't a solution, maybe I could create one. And that's how the BD School came about. After almost 6 years, we're now the leading personalized learning platform entirely dedicated to business development. And we have a very strong vision, which is to create the next generation of business developers using the power of knowledge. And for us, a new generation of business development pros really means someone that chooses business development as a career because they love it, they understand it, and they really want to build a career in that. We do this in a few ways. So the first one is we create a lot of content like these webinars, but if you go on our blog, you're going to find hundreds of articles, hundreds of videos on our YouTube channel and social media. So we really try to put out as much knowledge as possible for free so that everybody can benefit from it. We also have structured courses, in particular a business development certification program, which you can check out later on our website. And we also provide one-on-one coaching. Actually, for all of you who are here today live, you also get a free coaching call. If you're watching it on YouTube, I will also put the link here and you can get it otherwise as well. Now, this is our website, thebdschool.com. So if you want afterwards, go to check it for more free resources. After this little introduction, let's get started with today's topics and let's see what we have on the agenda. So we're going to talk a little bit about why we should use referrals in our business development strategy. And then we're going to go through 10 tactics, very simple, very immediate, practical that you literally can do right away. For each one, we're going to share a process on how to do it and then a simple template message or a little screenshot on how you can do it yourself. And then we're going to share a couple of tools that you can use. At the end of the webinar, there's also a Q&A session. We usually dedicate 10-15 minutes to questions. If you want, you can put your questions in the chat in case you don't want to forget it, or you can just unmute yourself at the end and we can talk about it at the end of the session. Now, let's start with some numbers related to referrals. The first one is this 90%. Now, 90% is the amount of people who are more likely to buy if a product or a service is referred by a friend. Now, I don't know you, but every time I'm looking for something new, very basic example, recently we renovated our apartment. We needed to find some laminate and we didn't know what to get. There were just too many options. But one of our good friends just renovated his house as well, and they had done all the research for us. So he told us which one they chose, why, all the specifics. So we went straight on their website, straight on the shop, and we bought the exact same laminate. And we're very happy with it, right? Now, I'm pretty sure if you think about it, about something that you recently bought and so on, probably you heard some of your friends talking highly about this service, this company, this product, and maybe that's something that helped you convince yourself to get this product or service. So people really love to buy when friends refer these products. And about 84% of B2B decision makers tend to start their buying process with a referral as well. Again, the process is exactly the same, whether it's B2B or B2C or B2G or any other asset or like a formation of your company. People tend to trust more a company, a product, or a service if other people around them know them and they trust them already, right? So this already should be a good reason why we should use referrals in our business development strategy. But let's look at few other benefits of referrals. Now, the first one is that referrals are an extremely cost-effective lead generation tactic, right? So we want to talk to clients that already love us, what we do. They probably want us to succeed, and asking for a referral literally costs nothing, right? So it's really, really cheap, very directly, right? The other thing is that we tend to have higher conversion rates when we get referrals. Again, the principle is exactly what we were talking about before, right? So people trust their friends, they trust people that they do business with, and so on. So if they get referred to a product or service or a company, they tend to get convinced much faster. So for every lead you get, if you do cold outreach, for example, compared to referrals, you're going to get a higher conversion rate. So more of these people that come to you through referrals, they're going to become paying clients. There is also much bigger trust. And of course, everybody that works in business development knows that BD is pretty much a job, like a field, entirely based on relationships, trust. So if we can get tactics, if we can find ways to generate value for our companies in a more effective way, referrals would definitely be one of those because people already trust you indirectly, let's say. Obviously, clients that come through referrals also tend to convert faster, which means you're going to have a faster sales cycle. So if for a cold lead, you're going to take like 6 months to 1 year, and I even had clients that took longer than that to get to a deal. When you get a referral, this tends to be much faster, and sometimes it can really be even a matter of days, right? Obviously, depending on your offer, how complex your product or service is, right? But generally, it's going to be a faster sales cycle. And last, which is definitely not least, is that referrals tend to help you build stronger customer relationships, not only with the new customers that are referred, right, but even with your current customers, because you're going to involve them in the process of growing your company, of generating more value with your company, right? So this going to help you to build stronger relationships as well with them. Now, how do we ask for referrals? There are a few things that we need to keep in mind. The first one is timing. Now, obviously, when we're asking for a referral, we want to ask it in the very close to the moment in which your current customers experience the value of your offer, right? We want to do it right after we finish a project. We want to do it right after a student finishes a course. We want to do it right after the customer experience the value of your offer. For example, if you sell a SaaS platform, maybe within 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the customer already got some benefits of using your platform. So that is the right time to ask for referrals. We don't want to let too much time passes. Not that it doesn't work if you build a good relationship with your clients, right? However, the longer you wait, the lower the chances that the customer is going to actually refer you. Maybe not because they don't want to, but because you're not gonna be top of mind, right? So it's better to do it right after the customer experience your value. It's gonna be more positive, and therefore they're gonna be more open to refer you to their friends or connections. Now, the other thing we need to keep in mind is the personalization aspect. Now, all the tactics we're going to see today, they're going to be really one-on-one, basically, with your customers, which already requires more personalization. But ideally, the more personalized we can get with our referral asks, the better results we're going to get. And last, we need simplicity. Now, sometimes I've seen like a lot of referral programs, especially when they're more marketing led, they tend to be very complex. There is like too many things involved. There is a dashboard where you can keep track of the referrals and so on and so forth. Maybe the message is not very clear. We need to keep it simple. Sometimes just saying, hey, do you know someone that can benefit from this? It's a lot more effective than a very complex website with links and so on and so forth. So keep in mind the timing, the personalization, and the simplicity. And of course, who do we ask to? Now, obviously, we want to ask to the very small percentage of our customers, which are actually promoters. Now, I don't know if you are familiar with the concept of Net Promoter Score, but basically, the Net Promoter Score is a score, let's say, that is given to a company or a product or a service, right? And basically, it works every time you go on a website, or it can be done with surveys and so on. You would ask your customers, how likely are you to refer this product to a friend? Now, in general, I don't know why, but people tend to be always very negative because, as you can see also from this image, there are a lot more detractors, like a lot more people that would not refer you than the ones that actually would refer you, right? I don't know why. I think it's just humans who are like that. We love to, we focus more on the negative side, right? However, when we ask for referral, we want to focus only on this very small number, these very just two people that are actually the promoters, because even though they're just two, they're going to be the ones that are more excited about your product and service, the ones that are going to be, more, let's say, willing to help you succeed in what you're doing, right? So whenever you have a list of customers, the first thing you need to do is really to identify who are these promoters and then only go to these ones. Obviously, you can always ask to anyone, right? But in Italian, we say you shoot yourself in the feet, right? So I would never go to ask to a client that was not fully satisfied to go refer me or leave us a review or something like that, right? So we don't want to do that. We want to be smart. We only want to ask to the green people at the very end of this image. And now let's look at these 10 referral tactics. Now, as I said before, all these tactics they're going to be super simple, literally things that you can do today. We're going to share a simple process for each one of them, maximum 5 steps, and then there is going to be a template as well. If you want, you can take a screenshot, anything that is going to help you then remember these tactics. Let's look first at the list of these top 10 referral tactics, and then we're going to go through that. Now, first one, we call it the Milestone Outreach. Satisfaction surveys, success stories or case studies, quarterly check-ins, sharing new offers, help us grow campaigns, common connections, sharing referral links, email signature, and a year in review. Now we're going to go in depth into all of that, starting with the first one, which is the milestone outreach. Now, the concept behind this is that for every client that we identify as our promoters, right? So the best clients, the one that are happy about us, we should have a list of milestones that regard this person that we can use during the year, during the months to get in touch with the customer, right? So we want to have something, like something nice that we can bring up in a conversation, because I know that it's sometimes a little bit awkward to ask for a referral or even just to check in with customers randomly. So we need to make it a little bit easier for ourselves and we can focus on the milestones. Now, first thing we want to do is take note of birthdays, anniversaries, achievements, anything major that we know about this client that we could celebrate. Now, I like sometimes to use more personal things like birthdays, for example. I took a habit since I worked in my first startup 10 years ago, which is to put on my calendar the birthdays of everyone I come across with. It can be anyone, friends, clients, partners, even people that never become clients, but I met along the way. I put them in my calendar and I send them a message every year. It's something basic. It doesn't cost you anything, right? But it's going to help you to build this relationship and then use these moments to ask for something and just to get back in touch, right? It can be anything noteworthy. Then we want to send a message, an email or a call or anything that you're more comfortable with. And we want, of course, congratulate the person and, mentioning this success in the message. We want to show appreciation for their partnerships, for the results we got together, like pretty much depending on the milestone that you decide to celebrate, right? Then obviously you're going to tailor the message a little bit. And then we're going to ask if they can introduce us to someone, right? So again, we can use that as a little icebreaker and then say, by the way, if you know someone, don't forget us, right? So just refer them to us. And if they do make a referral, take the time to really thank them personally. You can even send them a little gift, a postcard, a bottle of wine or anything like that, right? That you think is going to make this person happy. Because at the end of the day, it's a little bit of give and take, right? Now, based on my experience, every time I got, let's say, referrals from people, they never really wanted anything in return. They were just happy to do that. And it was the same for me. I was like, oh, I will think about that if I need something, right? Because people generally want to help, but sometimes we don't really ask them, right? So we need to find these moments in which we can ask them. Now, a template could be something like that. Hey, happy anniversary, happy birthday, happy, like, congrats for the funding you got, and so on, something like that. We're very happy. We're very grateful we're part of your journey. If you know anyone else that could benefit from it, feel free to, introduce us, or I would love an introduction. Again, something super simple. You just need to have something to talk about with your clients, right? And ideally, you want to make it genuine. So this might not be for everyone, right? So maybe you just want to send a happy birthday and that's it. And then a few days later, say, by the way, I was thinking, right? If you don't want to send it right away on the spot. Nice. Technique number two, using customer satisfaction surveys. Now, usually after every course that we do at the BD School, sometimes we do it also with webinar, we send a satisfaction survey and we always ask either for a referral or for a review. Now, this can be a nice moment because, again, you help your customer think about what they got through your product, your offer, and so on. And that can be a very nice moment to also say, oh, well, great, thanks for the feedback. Since you're so happy, why don't you refer us someone? Now, how do we do that? First of all, like as soon as we finish a project, a course, or anything else, right? Or again, if you work for a SaaS platform, you would probably wait a couple of weeks, or a few months, depending on your workflow. Let's say you want to send a customer satisfaction survey, you want to thank the client for the positive feedback that they left you, and you want to ask if they would refer someone that could benefit from it. If you can, if you do have it, you can include a referral link or a code. For example, what we do often at the BD School is to have coupon codes that then people can use to redeem discounts and this kind of thing. So these are very simple to set up. So you could do something like that. So you know who effectively referred you, which is also an important aspect, right? Monitoring that. Now, obviously, if it's one-on-one and if it's under the form of an email introduction, LinkedIn introduction, it's easy. You just know who did that. But if you work more on the B2C side, or you have a very large pool of customers and so on, using codes or referral links can be very beneficial. And then follow up with a thank you note. Now, in this case, the request for referrals, you can already include it in the survey. Like the last question could be, do you know someone that could benefit from us, right, from this service, right? Or could it be, oh, would you refer us to a friend? If yes, please leave your email address, right? Something simple. Or you can just, after they fill the form, you can send just a very nice thank you note, say, oh, thank you for your feedback. I'm really happy that you enjoyed working with us, or I'm really happy that you found benefits in our product, service, and so on. If you think that someone else could benefit from similar results, I would appreciate an intro. If you have a link or a coupon code, of course, you're also going to include that in the email. Thanks again for your support. Again, this can also be a very nice way to just basically co-create with your customers, right? And really make them part of your story, which is something clients love. I know, for example, just recently, I have a business coach. She's Italian. She's in Italy. And she sent me an email a few days ago. She was like, oh, could you leave me a review? I never thought I needed it as a coach, but turns out I do. I was like, yeah, of course. So I was like working on an article, I think, or something, but I immediately went on Google. I left a review because I know how important reviews are. I was also super thorough. I was really like detailed, really trying to explain how she works, what are the benefits, and so on and so forth. And in 2 minutes, I was done, right? And maybe I helped her to get more clients and to build more trust, right? So people want to help. We just have to ask, right? As said before. Now, tactic number three, share case studies or success stories. Now, what we want to do in this case is, first of all, we want to write a case study about a specific client. So let's say you just finished a project with someone, or you just onboarded a very big client on your platform and you see that they are getting stuff done, right? So you see that your product is helping them. You want to write a specific case study about this specific client. Then you share this case study with the client and you say, oh, that's so great. Look how much we did together. I wrote this case study. What do you think? Like, can I share it? And in the context of this message, you're going to ask if they know someone who are looking for similar outcomes, right? And if so, well, you can also share the same, like these case studies, you can share it on LinkedIn with the permission of your customer. if you can tag the client as well so that everybody can see and you get more visibility. And then, of course, you want to include the call to action for referrals. So this basically we can split it in two tactics because one is just to ask directly to your client. The other one is to use the case study in social media posts, email marketing, and so on. And in this context, then also ask for referrals. Now, it could look something like this. Hey, Mark, I'm so proud of the results we got together. I'm sharing a quick story about our success with your permission on LinkedIn. This is the link. You can also send them the link or like the document where you wrote this story. If you know anyone looking for similar support, I would love an intro. Now, if you notice all these tactics, they maybe there is one later on that is going to require some help from other teams, for example, marketing. But all these are things that you can do on your own. Why? Because we know that business developers sometimes don't really have much budget for big marketing campaigns or something like that, or you might not have the support from your marketing team, sales team, and so on, right? So since we are great at our job and we want to get more results, well, we can just take things in our own hands. So all these tactics, actually, you can do them directly yourself. You don't need any help, pretty much. Now, number 4, quarterly check-ins. Now, hopefully, we already do this, meaning just having regular updates with our customers. But I know that life gets busy, and sometimes you think you talked to your client like 2 weeks ago, and instead it was already 3 months, and it's like, oh, I forgot about this client. I should get back on track. I should talk to them, and so on. Now, one way to do it is either to have monthly, bi-monthly, or quarterly check-ins. And in the context of these check-ins, then ask for referrals. So very simple. You would set regularly check-in with your clients. My suggestion is that either you use a CRM where you can keep track of your tasks and put the reminders and so on, or if you don't have a CRM, which is it happens often at many companies, you can just put it on your calendar, right? And say, okay, this day I'm going to dedicate it to all the check-ins with all the clients, right? Or you can have specific ones per client if you prefer. During this call or meeting, you want to discuss goals, achievements. So you want to use it as a way, right, also to explore other opportunities with this client, right? Because, well, obviously there are referrals, but there is also upselling or cross-selling, right? So you really want to use these check-ins to really understand where is the customer at this specific point and see if there are other opportunities to grow the business with this person. During this context, of course, you want to also gather insights on their experience, satisfaction. So, like, what were your results using our platform? What was your outcome after the project? Did you see an increase in this, in that, based on what's your value proposition? And whenever they are positive, again, we want to ask mostly to the people that are happy with our service. If you see that they're happy, that they're positive, then you can ask if they can refer you to their connections. And of course, as usual, we want to thank them for the support, for the referral they provide. And personally, what I always like to do is to ask, like, hey, if there is anything I can do in return, please do let me know. I'm happy to help, right? So I like to always include the let me know. So if I can help, I will most likely. Now, tactic number 5 is sharing new offers. Now, what do we want to do in this case? First of all, if we have a different set of services, value propositions, offers, features, anything new, right, that we can develop or that we already have, well, we want to select that one. Then we draft a short email or a LinkedIn post or Instagram post, right, depending on where is your audience, right? This post, we want to send it to clients, post it on social media. We want to ask for referrals as a call to action. And then we want to follow up basically with anyone that shows interest. Now, it will look something like this, right? Hey, client, we just launched this new course, this new service, this new workshop, this new anything, blah, 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 which is designed to solve a specific problem, right? So, for example, in 2 weeks, we have a workshop on lead generation. So if I had to send this email, would be, hey, Maria, we're thrilled to, we're just launching a new workshop. It's designed to help business developers generate more leads. If you know someone who might benefit from this, I'd love an introduction. Thanks, and happy to return the favor. Now, usually, I like to use it in this formulation and not go directly like, oh, do you also need this? because maybe the customer didn't really think about that, or maybe because I want to be like a little bit like less direct, right? And say, okay, maybe you know someone, but indirectly, I'm also saying, hey, I have this new offer. Maybe it's also good for you, right? So basically, we can maybe upsell or cross-sell to this client. But again, the main focus should be, hey, if you know someone, can you please refer them to us? And again, we're asking to clients that already experience our value, so hopefully they're going to be more positive. Now, number six, we can launch an Help Us Grow campaign. Now, the Help Us Grow campaign, again, we can do it in a few ways actually, because we can use email marketing, we can use one-on-one outreach, we can use social media. So all these ones, pretty much, you can, let's say, reformat them on different platform. But what we want to do is, well, first of all, we write a nice email or a message and so on. The subject line could be "Help us grow, Maria," or something like that. No, Maria is one of our colleagues, so I always mention her. Then, and this is very important, you need to have very clear ideas or very clear description of your ideal client type, right? Because, well, let's say if I'm sending an email to one of my clients, which is, let's say, VP sales at Google, now, more or less, I'm looking for other VP sales, right? And I'm asking to the VP sales with the assumption that maybe he's going to know other VP sales at Facebook, at Microsoft, and at all the other big tech, right? But your clients, they're not in your company, right? So actually, they don't know. Maybe they think that, no, actually, maybe the CTO at these other companies yeah, I know this guy, I can introduce you to him, right? Except that a CTO wouldn't really be interested in business development training, right? So sure, maybe it's like, oh, nice company. I don't know what to do with it, right? So we need to help our customers to refer us to the right people. And that's why we need to have a very clear idea of the ideal customer profile. Then we want to share it on LinkedIn via email, phone, any other medium you decide is better for you. And if you want, you can offer an incentive for any successful referral. And of course, as usual, we want to thank our connections who help us spread the word, right? Now, the good thing of using social media on top of email or email marketing and so on is that you can, obviously, you're going to target a larger audience, right? It's not going to be just your customers. Now, it can be less effective in the sense that if there are people that never bought from you in your social media, let's say on LinkedIn, you only have people that are not your customers, unlikely, but it can happen, right? Now, obviously, not all of them are going to be super relevant. However, you never know who your connections know, right? So it's still worth it to share it, I think. And if anything, it's going to get more visibility. Now, this template could sound something like this. Hey, Maria, we're looking to grow and we'd really love to help other businesses like yours. If you know anyone with these criteria, and then you could say, in my case would be if you know any other VP sales that work in tech companies that are also experiencing this and this challenge, please feel free to connect us. As a thank you, I'm happy to offer a small bonus or, it can be anything. It could be one thing that I saw working well was Amazon vouchers. Something not crazy, but like between 15, 20 euros, 15, $20, more or less, something small that is not going to break your bank, let's say, but, that can work for the other person. However, when it comes to incentives for customers, what I suggest, and what worked for us at least, is to do something that is like personalized to this customer, right? So for example, if you know that the customer really loves reading and he has a great collection of business books, what you could do, for example, is to send them a book, right? If you know that your customer is really passionate about Italy, Tuscany, we were talking before, right? About Italy, well, great, you could give them a bottle of Chianti, right? Which is very famous Italian wine, right? So it always works best to do a personal gift rather than, let's say, a discount on your service or something like that. Why it works? Because even though as a client, let's say you're talking to the VP sales of Google, right? Sure, you're talking to Google, but you're talking to Mark, VP sales of Google, right? And he's going to be the one to do an introduction. He's going to be the one tapping into his network and making you enter his network, right? It's not just Google. it's Mark that works at Google that maybe has a childhood friend that works at Microsoft, right? So it's important that you customize and you personalize your, let's say, your incentives, your bonuses to the person. They're going to be much more happy to do that if it's not just, like, okay, nice discount for the company, but they don't win anything out of it, right? So think about that and really try to personalize as much as possible. Now, number seven is using common connections, right? Now, LinkedIn has this very nice feature. Every time you go on a profile of anyone, you're going to see all the amount of common connections that you have with this person. So what you can do is you can find shared LinkedIn connection with specific clients. So I will go to the profile of Mark from VP Sales at Google, and I will see if we have some common connections. I will study that and then see if there is someone interesting that I think could benefit from our service, the famous VP at VP Sales at Microsoft. Then you want to send them a message. Usually, in this case, I do it on LinkedIn directly because it's the platform where I found this connection, but you can do it by email, by phone. Again, with the means of communication that is most comfortable for you and that works the best with your audience. You ask if they're comfortable introducing you. If you want, you can. That's something I used to do. I even draft a little message for the person so that you're simplifying the life of your customers. Like, hey, I know this person. I think you're gonna enjoy getting to know each other, right? Something very basic, right? And then follow up, of course, with this introduction. And as usual, we want to thank the client for the introduction. I keep repeating the thanking part because sometimes it's easy to forget about that, right? Especially like after it's like, oh, great, I got all these referrals. We're going to get busy, with these new clients and so on. But we should not take for granted our current customers, right? Because although they love us today and they're even willing to refer us, is not said that this feeling is going to stay forever like that, right? So we want to make sure that we keep our customers happy, especially the ones that are positive about us. Now, the template could sound something like this. Hey, I saw on LinkedIn that we have some mutual connections. Would you feel comfortable introduce me to XYZ? Because, well, I think we can help them too. And, I would like to explore this opportunity, right? Thanks for considering it. Something, again, super simple. Obviously, these are templates, right? So I did not say that before, but don't copy them exactly as they are, right? So you want to customize them and personalize them and make them sound genuine, right? These are just ideas. All right, number eight. Share referral links or coupon codes, as I mentioned before. Now, in this case, maybe these and the next one, they're the only two ideas in which we need some help from other people in other departments, for example, marketing. To be fair, there are tools where you can do pretty much all these things on your own as well. But you probably already have something in place with your other departments, so it's always better to check. So, first of all, we want to create unique referral codes or links specific to this person. Then, obviously, we want to explain how this referral program is going to work, right? So, is it a link and then they get, for example, cash back, or do they get points and then they can redeem the points? So, how does this referral program work, right? There are thousands of setups for referral programs, from very basic, simple ones to very complex, complicated ones that requires tools and so on. You have to choose what works for you. And then we have to explain to the client how that works. Again, offering small incentives can help you to get more referrals, and then send a thank you email with this code or link. And then it's important that we track what is happening and that, again, we thank our clients. Now, tracking what's happening can be very helpful because it can help us uncover, first of all, other opportunities. For example, we have a customer that referred like 10 other customers. Well, this customer is obviously very valuable, right? So we want to make sure that we give them a little bit more attention. But maybe we find that some others that we thought actually were really happy with us, they don't refer anyone. So that's a very good way to also assess the level of commitment of your clients, right? Or the level of loyalty of your customers as well. So it's important that you track everything. Now, the template could sound something like, hey, we just launched a referral program and, we think you fit perfectly for this program. Here is your link. If anyone in your network can benefit from it, you can share this code, and then you're going to get XYZ, right? A discount, a free session, anything like that, right? So you can think was the incentive. And number nine, the email signature. This is very basic. It takes literally 2 seconds, and then after that you can forget about it, right? So you do it, it's done, and it's super basic. So first of all, we want to design a referral program, right? Again, it can be with the links, coupon codes, anything like that. So we as we imagine it, then we write a very short sentence at the end of our email. So write at the signature or above the signature. And the call to action should be refer a friend or, I don't know, refer someone, like then the formulation, you decide what's best for you. You include this sentence in the email signature. If you use a referral program with links, then you should also make sure that the link, you can track it so that you can measure how many people are clicking on it. And then, as usual, you monitor and adjust it. Now, this is a bit, let's say, passive, because it's not that you're directly telling people, hey, can you refer me to XYZ? And it's also not sure, that everybody is going to click on that link and so on. However, if you send enough emails, and if you do, for example, a lot of cold outreach, or if you do a lot of account management with your customers or with your partners and so on, this can be something that they're going to see all the time, right? So there can be one time that, they click on it. Now, it could look something like this, right? A PS, do you know someone who could benefit from our course? Refer your friends here, right? So with the link to that. Something super simple, right? It doesn't need to be crazy. You can literally do it like in 2 seconds and then it's there. And then, maybe some people are going to click on it and you're going to get referrals. So a little bit more passive, but still worth the try, because it's really like just 2 seconds. So it doesn't take much. And finally, number 10, so a personal yearly review. Now, in this case, what we want to do is similar to the quarterly check-ins, right? But we can use the end of the year as a way, to kind of like, get back in touch with our customers, and, kind of make let's a little bit of a summary of what happened so far. Now, first of all, we want to write a brief summary of the achievements, milestones, and anything you did together with this customer. Personally, I really love when it's like documents that are very nicely designed, personalized. So ideally, you have the logo of your customers, and it's really something like thought through for for the customers. You want to highlight any successful outcomes that you achieved together, or anything else that happened. Even shortcomings, challenges. Something that you think is going to help the customer kind of assess the partnership with you, but also, decide like whether they want to expand the partnership or not, right? So that can be, again, another way to cross-sell and upsell. In the context of this email, you can mention the referral program. Again, it needs to be something easy, a link, an email, a template that you create for them, something like that. And then you want to follow up for any referral that has been made. And again, if you want to give them a little gift, a little incentive, even better, they're going to be happy. Now, the template could be something like that. Hey, since we're almost at the end of the year, I wanted to thank you for being such a valued client. And these are some of our highlights. If you know someone would benefit from it, I'd appreciate an introduction, right? And then obviously you would attach the document that you created, the video. It's a little bit like the Spotify wrap at the end of the year, right? Where they show you like this very nice video with all the songs you listen, the themes, and so on. YouTube does the same now, the YouTube Wrapped, and basically just see what happened, over this past year. You could go as creative as making videos and these kind of things. But the purpose of today's session is to find ways, like easy ways to ask for referrals. So let's not complicate it. Like very nice one pager, even just one email where you talk about the achievements and so on can go a long way. That is also the last one. Now, just one tool that you can look at. Again, this is more like to get more ideas on how to design a referral program. But again, my perspective, my position is that we should always keep it simple. So the simpler you can get, potentially you just need a phone and the laptop with the Gmail on, right? Or Outlook or anything like that, right? Or LinkedIn. But if you want to get more perspective, more ideas, more, how to build something more complex, right? You can look at tools like Referral Rock. Now, these ones, there are a lot of other tools like that as well. which basically help you to manage your referral program, design it, and then monitor what is happening. So there, basically, you will be able to create links for your customers, and then measure if they're actually sharing these links or not. That is also the last thing for now. So if you want, you can go check our website if you want to take courses on business development. So we have a business development certification, which lasts 5 weeks, is our flagship course. We trained over 500 people on this course over these past 6 years, and is really an A to Z complete course on BD that is going to help you to restructure entirely your business development process. But we have a lot of other courses on soft skills, cold outreach, negotiation, LinkedIn, and so on and so forth. So feel free to go to thebdschool.com/courses and see what's available for your professional growth. So, for those of you watching on YouTube, thank you so much for following today's session. And of course, we wait you again in the next webinar. And now we go back to the Q&A session with all of you live. So, YouTube, bye, see you soon. And for those of you, stay here and we're going to continue with the Q&A session.